the different levels of soul is closely connected with the different energy centers of our body. So what are the energy centers? Energy centers are nothing but the chakras. So the first chakra is the base chakra, that is a Mooladhara. In the first base chakra and the Mooladhara, that is where we all start our journey from. The second is Swadhisthana, the second chakra. The third is Manipuraka. The fourth is Anahata. Fifth is Vishuddha. The sixth Agneya. Seventh is the Sahasrara state. Actually, there are only 6 chakras and 7th is the state. Mooladhara, Swadhisthana, Manipuraka, Anahata, Vishuddha, Agneya, Sahasrara. So these are the 7 stages of the soul. When we are born, or our consciousness has decided to give a birth to a soul so that it can take a human body and experience the human life, the consciousness releases a thought, then a soul is created. Before the soul is born in the physical earth plane, it is nurtured in the astral worlds. There are training schools in the higher worlds. There they will tell you what is earth, how human life will be, how you have to live with coherence. Everything they will teach you there. They will nurture you. And once you are ready, you will choose a womb and you will take birth. Once you take a birth with the first breath, that is when the karma starts. From there on, the karma counts begin. Before that, there is nothing. So when the first birth is born, first birth if you take in the earth, it is in the base chakra, Mooladhara. That is called an infant soul. Very new to earth. So they have lot of fear. They have never taken a human life. They will have lot of fear. They will not listen to any law. They don't care anybody. Out of fear, they accumulate everything and they always live in the fear. So a soul takes around roughly 50, 60 or sometimes 70 lifetimes just in the base chakra, that is a Mooladhara. So after one birth after another, it slowly gains some strength. That fear will vanish little. Then when the fear vanishes, then when the soul is born, it gets connected to the first and the second chakra parallel, Swadhisthana. That is when they will start going outside. They will have wishes, they will have desires, they want to connect with other people. All these things will start. Swadhisthana. So there they will try to merge with others. They will try to communicate with others. Their life begins little more better. The fear vanishes slowly. Okay. So then they will again take some 50, 60 lifetimes, sometimes 70. There is no exact count because it is an unlimited entry pass. You can take how many ever lifetimes you want in the earth. Nobody will question you in the higher worlds. It is unlimited. So after some taking 100 or 150 or 200 lifetimes in first 2 stages of the soul, Mooladhara and Swadhisthana, they will start entering into the Manipuraka chakra. That is third chakra. In the first two chakras, first two sets of lifetimes, they will not believe God. They are not connected with a God. They will not follow any rules. They are only with living with fear. They accumulate everything. They will only live for themselves. They will just live their lives, taking different roles. There are so many places in the earth. They will be born again and again. One lifetime in Russia, one lifetime in America, one lifetime in India, one lifetime in Sri Lanka, one in the Arab nations. They take multiple lifetimes to experience this human life. They gain lot of strength to first come to the earth. It is not that easy. And life after life, when they go, they sit there, they analyze, and again they take some time to come back. It is not immediately they will go and come back. Okay. So it is not in a proper order. And it is not same for two souls. It is all different for different souls. So once they come after taking so many lifetimes in the first two chakras, that is the first two stages, that is the infant soul, and also the second one is called baby soul. Okay, child. The first two chakras. Then the third one, Manipuraka, comes. There it becomes young soul, because already it has taken so many lifetimes in the earth. They have undergone so many situations, so many emotions, so many roles. They will start understanding many things. The fear is vanished. And when you come to the Manipuraka chakra, you will start getting into religion or Bhakti Marga. Through that, you will try to attain the God. You will start worshipping more. You will start connecting with the God. You will see God as different and you as different, and you need to surrender to God with fear, not out of passion or love. It is not Mirabai Bhakti. Out of fear, you are fearful of religion, you are fearful of God. That if you don't do these things, God will punish you. Out of that fear, you start surrendering to the God. That is in the third chakra, Manipuraka chakra. You take some lifetimes, you become religious leaders, and you recite all these slokas, mantras. So you live in all that religion factors. After taking multiple lifetimes, roughly around 50-60 again. So already you would have taken 200 to 250 lifetimes only in the first three chakras, Mooladwara, Sadhisthana, Manipurak chakra. That is infant soul, baby soul, and the young soul. And after all these lifetimes, the soul again grows to the fourth chakra. That is, it becomes infant is over, baby is over, young is over. It becomes adult soul. That is the Anahata chakra. Once you get into the Anahata chakra, even in the first three chakras, you are only having fear. Fear of yourself, fear of insecurities, and fear of God. But when you come to the Anahata chakra, then you will start seeking spirituality. Where is God? What is real truth? What is compassion? What is love? We need to help others. We need to give our time. All this heart chakra, that is Anahata chakra, that is a adult soul, thinks that way. So in order to come to this state, roughly around 200 to 250 lifetimes you should have taken in the earth. Otherwise, you will not come here. The reason why I am stressing this point is, even today, up to today, in the past 16 years, I keep hearing the same sentences from a lot of people. That I taught meditation to so many people, but they are not doing. I taught meditation to so many people, they are not following. They are not doing, they are not doing. They will not do. But how will you know who is in which chakra? Who is in which level of soul? You don't know. So you have to reach to the masses and teach about meditation. Whoever is in search of real God, they will catch it. People who are still in the survival instincts, people who are still in the religion instincts, they will never understand you. So let them live. their life. They will come back again and again and again. They will not understand you. They will mistaken you. They will scold you. They will say your path is wrong because they are not in the search of real God. They are surrendered to the God because of fear. They want all their desires to be fulfilled by the God. They go and beg the God, give me all these things, my kid's marriage, my son's education, I need money, gold, then I'll give you dakshana. I will listen to all the rules and regulations, otherwise some punishment will happen. So out of that fear they are living. So if you go and teach about meditation, they will not listen to you. But how will you know among that group somebody may be in the Anahata Chakra? So when we are giving a session, we are not giving for everybody. There may be one person waiting for that. So for that you have to broadcast, you have to go and tell to everyone. So that one guy will catch up. So for searching that one guy, you have to go and tell to 100 or 1000 people. You will never know who is that. He will come to you. After the session, 90% people will leave immediately. That this is what meditation is. This is what life is. People are waiting. Whatever enlightened level you are, you cannot go and pick and choose saying which chakra you are in. That is a waste of time. You are wasting energy. Rather, wherever there is opportunity, go and teach. At least there, even if they are in the lower chakras, whatever you teach about meditation got stored in them. Someday they may do it. If not this lifetime, next lifetime. So when you come to the Anahata Chakra, that is when your true spiritual quest starts. Who am I? What is the purpose of life? Why I am born? What should I do? But still, he will be in suffering. The first 4 chakras, there is only suffering. There is only karma. You give suffering to others, you are suffering. The first 4 chakras, you are only in a suffering state. You are not happy, you are disoriented. You are not living a fulfilled life. Something is always missing. You are still crying. Depression. Jealousy. Disconnections. Immaturities. Assumptions. You can keep on telling anything. All those things are in the first 4 chakras. So after taking many lifetimes there, when you are ready, when the student is ready, the master appears. So when you are ready, then you take a lifetime, you will be born in an environment where you will have access to meditation very easily. Somebody will come and tell you. So as a soul, you take a decision. You know, if I am born in this particular family, at this point of time, these people will teach me meditation. So it's all agreements. So you come to the earth, and then at the right time, when you are ready, you will be taught the meditation. I asked Patriji once, from age 14, I heard about meditation, but up to age 21, I waited. So almost 7 years, I waited to get into this moment. You understand? So I asked him directly, why you made me wait for 7 years? I was ready at the age 14, but why you made me wait at the age 21, up to 21? He said, what will you do at coming to this society at age 14? What you would have done? So you came at the right time. So I was very immature in the initial days. So I went and asked him, you made me wait for 7 years. He said, you came at the right time. Not at the age 14. 21 is right for you. So meditation came to you at 21. So that was way back in 2004 I asked this question. So when the right time comes, the meditation got, because I was ready at that time. By then I have already gone to 3-4 spiritual societies. I did meditation. I met a lot of gurus. I was into Bhakti Marga for many years. Nothing gave me satisfaction. There's only depression. There's only something is missing. I'm not able to correlate. I'm not able to connect with my heart. I'm not able to connect with my soul. Something was missing and nobody was able to answer. Nobody was able to show me the path. All the paths they have shown, I saw that nothing was giving me satisfaction. So when you complete your adult soul, then you become an old soul. You will come into Vishuddha. There, when you people who are here, for them, meditation will come. They will do meditation only when you are in fifth chakra. So everybody who is here, either you are here, here, or here. These three chakras, not in the base four chakras. Those lifetimes are over for you. Otherwise, you will not come to the session. You will not, first of all, listen to what is meditation. You will not practice meditation. You will simply ignore and go. So, if you are listening, if you are practicing meditation, it means that you are either in these three chakras. So, when you come to the Vishuddha, you are aware now. Oh my God, I have done so much karmas. The past 4 lives, let me burn it. Jnanagni datta karmanam. With the more knowledge, all your karma will be burnt away. How will you get knowledge? By real-time experiences. How will you get experience? By practice. You read books, you practice meditation. So when you read book, it is knowledge. When you read a book, when you read a particular knowledge, the nature, the life will give you certain situations for you to undergo such experiences. So you should be ready. So when you undergo such experiences, it becomes experience. It becomes wisdom. In Sanskrit, it's called Gnana. Gnana is like a fire. It will fire away. It will burn away all your karma. So when you come to Vishuddha, the only goal of the soul is practice more and more of meditation, do a lot of sadhana, and increase lot of knowledge to burn away all your past karmas. No more waiting. All the lifetime, whatever is in the earth, you have already learned. Now you want freedom. You want liberation. Until then, there is unlimited entries. You come, sometimes you forget who you are, sometimes you screw up, sometimes you literally fail, sometimes it is a bonus. So many lifetimes. So by taking many lifetimes in a Vishuddha, by continuously practicing meditation, you finish away all your lifetimes. You burn away all your karmas. Then there is only expansion of the consciousness. It is all like a bonus lectures. So you come to the Agneya. So here it is a old soul. Here it's a transcendental soul. When you come to the third eye, it is a transcendental soul. There you will no longer be attached to anything in the earth. You become detached with everything in the earth. Yet you are in a samsara. You will be with everybody, but yet inside of you, you will be connected to the higher self. The focus is main on the experiences and the knowledge, expansion, not on the basic living you do, but you will be more on the expansion state. That's the Agna Chakra, the wisdom eye. The focus is on the wisdom. And you take roughly 3 to 5 lifetimes here, or sometimes 7 lifetimes here. Then you hit Sahasrara state, either 1 or 3 lifetimes in the final Sahasrara state. All my past life, 7 lifetimes, I was only doing meditation. My immediate past life, I was in Himalayas. I lived up to age 100 plus. I was only doing sadhana, nothing else. So this lifetime, I did not come for doing sadhana. I am here to give to everyone. Nobody forced me to go and teach meditation. Nobody said, since we taught you meditation, you have to give back in this way. No. I know my purpose. On day 1, I know my purpose. So here you are an infinite soul. So these infinite souls, they don't have any work, but only to spread meditation, to guide everybody, to guide people to come out of all their karmas, to guide people to increase their wisdom, to guide people to say, Hare Baba, you have completed all lifetimes. Now it is go and start doing spiritual service. So you are born as an infant soul, then baby soul, then young soul, then adult soul, then you are born as a old soul, then transcendental soul, and finally the infinite soul. So remember, you are either in these three. There is no going back in spirituality, as I told you yesterday. There is no going back in spirituality. It is always going forward, slow or quick. So these are the 7 stages of the soul. See, sometimes I'll tell you what happens. Now it is a time for you to understand deeper about the souls. Soul is not one entity. It is nothing but it is a mixture of your astral, causal, supracausal, nirvanic, etheric, and nirvana. All the bodies put together is a soul. So when I am talking to you now, even when you are listening to the sessions, you may think the soul is inside you. But sometimes the soul comes and makes short trips and then it comes back. Even if you are awake. Not only in meditation and the sleep the souls go out, even when you are awake, it makes short trips. For example, you are sitting in a classroom. The lecturer was giving some in the boring subject which you don't like. You are just listening to the lecture. So what happens? The soul comes out, it will go travel to some place where it is interesting, and after the lecture it comes back. So if you are not connected to the person or the situation or the environment, the soul will not sit inside. It will immediately come out. It will rather go to the place. That is called daydreaming. People will wake you up suddenly and say, "Hey, are you dreaming?" So you don't know where you are. I have seen people, they just sit like this. They are lost. So what happened that the soul goes out, so this consciousness doesn't work. You're in the conscious mind doesn't work. So the soul can come out, it can come in anytime. It has the free will. The only person who limits it is your conscious mind. If you make your mind empty, the astral body or the soul goes out, it happily travels and come back. Suppose there are two friends, both of them want to meet you, but unfortunately you have only one body. You go to one friend and spend time. You know what happens? Your soul will go to the second friend. It will spend time with him. Look at that. If you are a great spiritual master, if you have a great third eye, then you can see that you are there physically here and astrally there. It happened many times for me. For few people, they want to go to Kashi or they want to go to Himalayas or they want to go to Switzerland, but they are not able to go because of the locked up situation in life or financial issues or no permissions, many things. But in the night when they sleep, the soul goes there because the soul chooses to go out of the body for a longer time when you are sleeping because it doesn't disturb you. And with the physical body and the soul, there is a string that is called silver cord. Okay, there is no limitation. It can travel anywhere. In the entire universe also it can travel. There will be a silver cord. It will just extend as long as the astral body can go. How much ever distance it wants. So during the nights it travels along. So whichever your favorite places, whichever desires you want, it will go and satisfy itself. And very importantly, remember this point, when someone is sleeping, never ever shake them and wake them up. Never do that. Because their soul is outside the body, you suddenly make them awake, it will take a few seconds for it to come, then there becomes a disorientation. So out of some shock, out of some people, they shake their body, wake up, don't never do that. Slowly wake up, slowly. And even the alarm has to be very soothing, small, soft. It should not be grrr. Then what happens? You are suddenly out of shock, you wake up. So what happens? Sometimes you will not feel that freshness. There will be something missing. It means there is a disorientation that it did not come properly. Some parts are missing. So that proper orientation doesn't happen. It is like a template and there is like, instead of like this, it will be like this. So you will not feel fresh, you will feel frustration, you will feel disconnection. So that's why whenever you wake up, we always tell people just sit in meditation for at least 1 or 2 minutes, so that if there is any disorientation, the orientation happens. This is a very important point. And next is, suppose you are in a workplace or in the school or in any family relative's house. If people abuse you, physical abuse, mental abuse, or chemical abuse, so what happens? Immediately the soul leave the body. It will not come back until you are out of that sorrow. Until you are again balanced, this astral body will quickly come out of the body. It will just wander unless you settle down, then it comes. Because it doesn't want to take all the effects. It is very, very intelligent. Okay, it will have its own agenda. You may think you are intelligent, but you are nothing but only your mind. Or the society and the parents you have given your mind. So you think you are that. So you think you are satisfied, happy. But a soul will have an agenda. If there is a trouble to the body, if there is abuse, it will immediately pack up and leave. It will be still alive. It will be still alive. It will go out. It will be wandering in the astral world somewhere. It will keep looking at you. Once you are out of all the emotions, you are balanced, it will come back. So a lot of people, they go for regression, saying, I have this depression, I have these problems. So this regression therapist will take you back, but you will not remember anything. So you will never be able to, they will never be able to cure, because during such hard incidents, your mind is stored, but those incidents, during that incident, the soul goes away. So you will not really remember all these things in the trance state. Your mind may remember, but the therapist will take you to a deep trance where your mind is empty. In that state, he will ask you, if there is any abuses, release it. There is no abuse. Because in the therapist will take you from a mind to a out of mind state. In out of mind, there is no storage. The soul doesn't store that. Then what happens? You don't remember anything. But still the mind will have problems. So you will not be able to come out of it. And sometimes your baby died, or your father dies, or very close friend dies away. Okay, or your pet dies. You are in very, very deep grief. Okay, it is like they are my own world. Without them, I can't live. They are gone. You keep on crying. What happens? This soul will travel with them, and they will go and sit in the astral worlds. It will not come unless until you are balanced. So this is called disorientation of the souls. Missing part. You are not complete 7 bodies. Your one body gets stuck in multiple worlds because of your grief, because of your guilt, because of your improper understanding. The parts of the soul are missing. So for them, there is a never satisfaction in the life. They are always missing something. They always will be crying. Grief is the worst of everything. I understand they are very close to you. They have passed away. But fine, you have to come out of it. I'll tell you one experience. My own kid. For 7 years, me and my wife, we decided we don't want kids because we want to focus more on spiritual service. After that, she became pregnant and the baby is born. And directly the baby is in the ICU. And after 3 days, we forcefully took the baby out because the baby was communicating to me, take me out of this hospital. So I took the baby and came to home for 2 weeks, and then the baby passed away. I was in office. My wife called me and said, there's no movement, I think the baby is dead. Then I immediately told my manager, there's some emergency, I need to start. And I took my bike, I was coming on the road. I clearly saw my baby soul has come to me. Then I communicated with that soul. Bro, that's why I decided. I was little upset because they should have calculated those things before they taken birth. Now I have to undergo all these troubles. But I said, no problem, Baba. Please leave immediately. Before everybody come to know about the news, their grief will pull this soul, not going to the higher worlds. So that soul immediately went away. Later when we informed, everybody started crying. So that grief will not touch that souls. So there is so much science. There are so many books on past life regressions. There is so much wisdom available. Dr. Newton all does this past life regression. He's a regression therapist. He's a great master. You can attend if you want to know more about the past lives, near to death experiences. There are few people who has the pulse is gone, the heartbeat is gone, the doctor has declared dead. But after some time they will wake up. It will be a scary for anybody there. The soul has gone, but again some decision change, it comes back. Lot of the channel people, lot of regression therapists, they all have gone to that near to death experience to experience what is the other side, and then their whole perception changes here. So they will stop all the business activities, they will start deeper into the spiritual activities, and they start giving. Sylvia Brown is a great author. You have to read such books. Suppose your soul has the healing capacity. In the night times, your soul goes out and it will go and heal someone. It will channel someone. In the morning, it comes back. You need not remember everything. The conscious mind will not remember everything, because this physical body is in the lower vibration. The astral body and the soul is in the higher vibration. When the higher comes to the lower, you may not remember. When you look into your dreams, in most of the dreams, you travel to the places, you meet your friends, you go to your favorite places. Sometimes there will be a horror experiences. So it's all the soul comes out and it goes and comes. It's not always the mind projections. It is also called as astral traveling. So during the sleep it goes for longer time. During the meditation it goes. And also when you are awake, it makes short trips. Whenever you are not connected to the situation, whenever you are undergoing some abuse, it will make short trips. And sometimes if there is a disconnection where you are there physically present, mentally absent, you say, right? There the soul will make short trips and come out. So these are the 7 stages of the soul. But the good news is we are here, somewhere in the 3. So you are already in the right path. So you must continue meditation and you must teach everyone. Read books. I have read 2000 books only on meditation after my engineering. Right now I have a set of 10 books. Now next my task is to read everything. Increase my wisdom. Who doesn't want growth? After reaching to a Sahasrara state, we have to do multiple things to expand our consciousness as much as possible. You must reap how much ever is possible. And you must share how much ever is possible. But sharing gives me a great joy. The sharing of my time, meditation, energy and wisdom is the highest joy I get. Thank you very much for everybody for giving your time.